Law of Money, 19 Timeless Principles to Master Wealth. Written by Justice O. Malcolm. Published by the Quiet Library. Introduction. There are 1,000 books on success, and most talk too much about luck and too little about law. They wrap mystery in metaphors, preach virtue or cleverness as the golden ticket, or promise that visualizing wealth will somehow cause dollars to appear in your pocket. But wealth is not magic, nor is it myth. It is the practical outgrowth of inner law, acted upon with intelligence, confidence, and persistence. This volume is not a manual of methods, but a philosophy of force. If you expect schemes for speculation or shortcuts to fortune, close these pages. But if you desire to awaken the silent powers within you, if you wish to understand how money moves, why it flows to one and not to another, and how to become the kind of person it must obey, then you will find in these pages a map for that terrain. Let us begin with an honest premise. Money matters not because it is noble or sacred, but because under the current construction of civilization, it is the lever by which almost everything else is moved. Want to educate your children? You'll need money. Want to care for your body, mind, or loved ones? Money again. It has become, for better or worse, the tool that grants access to almost every form of freedom and growth. In primitive times, man's resource was his hands. He hunted, built, and traded in kind. But as society scaled upward, we exchanged barter for bills and strength for strategy. The man who once traded fish now trades ideas. The woman who gathered herbs now consults. Money, no longer tied to physical labor, follows energy, and energy always originates from within. This book teaches that wealth is not a product of effort alone, nor even of intelligence alone, but of conscious, directed will aligned with universal laws. Just as gravity pulls the apple from the tree, there are mental and spiritual laws that draw money into your life or repel it. Those laws are always operating, whether you know them or not. This book is written to make you aware of them, so you can stop fighting the current and learn to navigate it. The structure of this work is deliberate. Each chapter is its own block in the foundation, meant to rouse your reason, stir your self-faith, and challenge your assumptions. You will not be handed a checklist for riches, but rather shown the blueprints for financial self-construction. And you will be told often and plainly, there's no effect without a cause. If your income is low, your thinking may be the reason. If your wealth is fleeting, your habits may be the fault. If money always seems just out of reach, then perhaps you have yet to extend the right kind of hand. We shall speak then of law, not law as statutes, but as structure. Of action, not mere busyness, but intelligent effort. Of belief, not vague hope, but unshakable inner conviction. And of power, not external control, but the type born within. When you finally realize you do not beg for money, you become a magnet to it. This is a study in applied idealism. It begins with the premise that the mind governs the world, and that through it you may govern your own. We begin now. For more information about the ebook version of this audio, check the video description or visit thequietlibrary.com. We noticed that 65% of you who listen to our video are not yet subscribed to the channel. Please help support the channel by hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. Thanks for inspiring us to create more content for you. Chapter 1. The Law of the Inner Force. In every venture for financial success, the first and most potent force is the spark that originates deep within the individual, a quiet, sometimes unnoticed, yet ever-present inner power. It is not a fleeting emotion, nor a passing whim, but the very foundation upon which wealth is constructed. This inner force is the will to rise above ordinary thought and the courage to trust in one's own potential. It is the silent engine that, when awakened, sets in motion the chain reaction of success. Imagine, for a moment, the nature of a seed buried in the soil. The seed carries within it the complete blueprint of a towering tree. However, its transformation into something grand does not occur by mere chance. It requires the latent energy of its inner force, the drive to sprout, reach out, and embrace the sunlight. So too does the human mind hold within it the hidden capacity for achievement. Recognizing and nurturing this inner force is the first step toward financial prosperity. The modern world often confuses external validation with genuine power. Many chase after the glitter of temporary wealth or the transient satisfaction of a quick profit, forgetting that true success is not built upon the surface of material gain, but upon the inner realm of thought and conviction. The inner force, when properly harnessed, directs not only one's actions, but also the energy that attracts opportunity. It is a magnetic quality, drawing forth the right circumstances to complement one's aspirations. However, awakening this force is not a matter of idle, wishful thinking. It demands a disciplined approach to self-awareness and mental cultivation. One must begin by casting aside limiting beliefs that confine the potential within. Too often the voice of self-doubt drowns out that inner strength, leaving behind only the echoes of defeat and resignation. To liberate this force, the individual must commit to the deliberate cultivation of positive thought, to a rigorous self-examination of one's habits, and to the consistent practice of aligning one's actions with a higher purpose. Financial success, therefore, is not accidental, but the deliberate outcome of an awakened mind, actively engaged in the pursuit of its highest ideals. Consider the process of a sculptor working with a block of marble. The raw stone appears inert and lifeless, but within it lies the potential for magnificent art. The sculptor's vision, combined with focused and persistent effort, transforms the unyielding mass into a work of beauty and value. Similarly, the inner force is the visionary spark that sees the potential for wealth in the most unpromising circumstances. It guides the mind to seek not just any profit, but the right kind of profit, one that harmonizes with the individual's true nature and long-term objectives. The journey begins with self-trust. Confidence in one's own ability to overcome obstacles and to transform challenges into opportunities is essential. Each setback, instead of being a marker of defeat, should be viewed as an invaluable lesson, a necessary recalibration of one's approach. The inner force is resilient. It endures through failure and emerges stronger with each trial. When the mind is fortified by this confidence, it rejects the notion of scarcity and embraces the abundance that is its rightful inheritance. To harness the inner force, one must adopt a mindset of purposeful action. It is not enough to simply wish for wealth. One must act with determination and clarity. Every decision, every effort must be imbued with the understanding that the power to create financial success lies within the mind. This inner force, when unleashed, sets in motion the law of cause and effect. It ignites a cycle where intelligent action attracts opportunities, and each success further strengthens their resolve to achieve more. Thus, the law of the inner force stands as the cornerstone of all financial achievement. It is the quiet strength that transforms potential into reality and dreams into achievements. In the chapters to come, we shall delve deeper into the external manifestations of this inner power and explore how to channel it effectively into concrete actions that yield wealth. Yet remember, all external triumphs begin with a single internal step, a commitment to awaken and nurture the dormant force within. In the grand theater of financial success, every action sets in motion a corresponding reaction, a law as immutable as gravity. This is the principle of dynamic reciprocity, the idea that every purposeful act sows the seeds of a proportional effect. It is not enough to simply harbor desire or to nurture an inner force. The external world demands that thought be followed by action, and action, in its turn, be met with the appropriate response. The universe is a vast network of exchanges. In nature, the sun's rays bring forth life. In human affairs, every decision or initiative triggers a ripple that shapes our destiny. The principle of dynamic reciprocity teaches us that nothing occurs in a vacuum. When you invest effort, when you engage your talents in the pursuit of wealth, the world responds by aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in a way that mirrors your intention. Therein lies the secret. To receive the fruits of your labor, you must first set the gears of action in motion. Consider the analogy of a stone cast into a tranquil pond. The initial splash may be modest, but as the ripples radiate outward, they cover a far greater area than the original impact. Your actions are like that stone. A well-planned initiative or a determined step toward your goal sends out waves of influence that eventually return to you as success. Even in the face of obstacles, the law of reciprocity remains true. An effort made in earnest might at first meet with resistance or seeming indifference, but as the ripples grow, they gather momentum, transforming setbacks into opportunity. Yet this law is not mechanical or blind. It demands intelligent action. Random effort, haphazard work, or an undirected burst of energy will only yield chaotic results. The response you attract depends entirely on the quality and direction of your efforts. Thus, every action must be purposeful. Align your deeds with your highest objectives and with the deep inner force that you have awakened. When you act with clarity, discipline, and a strong conviction, the universe reciprocates in kind, sending you the resources you need to continue your ascent. This is where the difference between wishful dreaming and genuine achievement is drawn. Many aspire to wealth, believing that sheer desire will invoke the powers of attraction, yet desire without action remains as inert as a dormant seed. It is through the deliberate conversion of thought into action that success is born. Every step you take is an act of faith, a declaration that you are ready to engage with the world and that you believe in your capacity to shape it. With every positive act, you affirm your commitment, and the environment responds with the material proof of your determination. Action also carries with it the valuable lesson of adaptation. The initial reaction from your environment may not always match your expectations. Here, the principle of dynamic reciprocity invites you to learn and adjust. Encountering a challenge or a temporary setback should be seen not as a failure, but as feedback, a signal to refine your methods. In this process, perseverance and intelligent recalibration become your allies. When you encounter resistance, ask yourself, how can I modify my actions so that the ensuing reaction aligns more closely with my purpose? In doing so, you transform each setback into a stepping stone toward eventual triumph. Dynamic reciprocity is the great equalizer. It does not favor the chosen few arbitrarily. It rewards those who act with integrity, purpose, and persistence. It teaches that the wealth you desire is not an elusive phantom to be summoned by magic, but a tangible result of clear, consistent, and thoughtful effort. Your every move, however small, contributes to the larger pattern of success. Thus, as you venture further into the realm of financial achievement, let this principle be your guide. Act deliberately, measure your actions with wisdom, and understand that every deed, every thought made manifest will eventually come back to you, multiplied if your efforts are true, and your purpose resolute. In the dynamic interplay of action and reaction lies the rhythm of prosperity, a rhythm that, once mastered, will conduct the symphony of your financial success in life. When you are ready, we shall proceed to the next chapter where we explore the magnetic force of attraction that draws wealth toward those who align their inner vision with purposeful deeds. Chapter 3. The Law of Attraction. Within the framework of financial achievement, there exists an unseen force that pulls like a magnet, the law of attraction. This principle is simple yet profound. It declares that like attracts like, and the nature of your thoughts and actions will determine the caliber of wealth that comes into your orbit. The power of attraction is not an abstract idea confined to dreams. It is a real dynamic process that channels the energy of your inner world into tangible material returns. At the heart of the law of attraction is the notion that every thought carries a vibration, a distinct frequency that interacts with the environment. When your mind is set on abundance, on the certainty of success, you naturally project amagnetic energy that draws opportunities and resources towards you. Conversely, if your thoughts are mired in doubt or scarcity, you inadvertently repel the very prosperity you seek. It's the alignment of your mental state with the vision of wealth that creates a receptive environment for financial success. Picture your mind as a finely tuned instrument. When it resonates in harmony with the frequency of abundance, it produces a melody that the universe cannot ignore. Every time you affirm your capability to achieve, and every action you take to materialize your plans, you add a note to that harmonious tune. The law of attraction is not a passive occurrence. It is a call to conscious creation. It demands that you become aware of the quality of your thoughts and that you make a deliberate effort to nurture those that are in sync with your aspirations. One must understand that attraction is not a magical summoning of riches out of thin air. Rather, it is the natural outcome of cultivating a mindset that is clear, confident, and focused on success. When you begin to view your goals as inevitable, you unlock a series of actions that align with that certainty. Opportunities that once seemed invisible gradually reveal themselves as if the universe had been waiting for you to send the right signal. In this way, every idea, every plan, every effort becomes a stepping stone towards financial abundance. Yet the true beauty of the law of attraction lies in its dual function. Not only does it bring the rewards you desire, but it also reinforces your belief in your own potential. As you observe the tangible results of your focused thoughts, be it through unexpected business prospects, timely advice from a mentor, or a sudden windfall of resources, your confidence grows. This success, in turn, acts as a catalyst, further strengthening the magnetic pull of your desires. It is a self-reinforcing cycle where positive thoughts beget positive outcomes, and those outcomes empower you to think even bigger and bolder. The process of harnessing the law of attraction involves more than mere positive thinking. It calls for a balanced integration of mind and action. Set your intentions clearly, and then engage with the world in a deliberate, unwavering manner. As you work steadily toward your goals, you must also remain open to the subtle signals that indicate new possibilities. Sometimes the universe communicates through gentle nudges, a chance encounter, an insightful conversation, a fleeting idea. Recognize these moments for what they are, invitations to expand your financial horizon. In practical terms, developing the power of attraction begins with the cultivation of gratitude and the elimination of internal barriers. List your successes, however small, and use them as evidence that your mind can indeed create wealth. Simultaneously, cast off any lingering doubts or negative beliefs that could diminish your vibrational energy. The more you affirm your right to abundance, the more firmly you establish the energetic conditions necessary for prosperity. In summary, the law of attraction is the silent partner in your journey to financial success, a force that, when awakened and harnessed, can transform your deepest aspirations into reality. It is the culmination of your inner vision, the catalyst that translates thought into tangible wealth, and the foundation upon which a prosperous future is built. Embrace this law with intention and clarity, and you will find that the universe is always ready to meet you halfway. When you feel ready, we shall turn our focus to the next chapter, exploring the art of definitive purpose, how setting clear, unwavering goals can channel the forces of both attraction and action into a pathway toward unstoppable success. Chapter 4. The Power of Definite Purpose. Every great achievement begins with a vision, a clear, unwavering purpose that serves as the lodestar for all your actions. Without a definite purpose, even the most persistent efforts can scatter into the winds, dissipating energy and diluting potential. In this chapter, we explore the essential nature of purpose and how its clarity and steadfastness are indispensable to the realization of financial success. Definite purpose is more than a simple goal. It is a focused conviction that crystallizes your aspirations into a tangible direction. It is the act of setting aside the multitude of distractions that life throws at you and anchoring yourself to one clear objective. This unwavering focus acts as a magnet for the opportunities that align with your vision. Just as a lighthouse guides ships through turbulent seas, a definite purpose illuminates the pathway through uncertainty, enabling you to navigate the complexities of a dynamic financial landscape. When your purpose is firmly defined, you transform abstract dreams into concrete plans. The process begins with introspection, a rigorous examination of your strengths, desires, and values. It is here that you must ask yourself, what is the one thing you can do better than anyone else? What is the unique contribution you are meant to make? The answers to these questions reveal the contours of your true calling. With this clarity, you can construct a blueprint that not only charts a course for financial achievement, but also aligns with your inner identity. A well-defined purpose compels action. It is not sufficient to merely articulate your aspirations. you must also commit to the practical steps required to manifest them. When every decision is filtered through the lens of your purpose, the seemingly disparate activities of daily life begin to converge into a unified strategy. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and every setback becomes a lesson that sharpens your focus rather than saps your will. This disciplined approach transforms challenges into stepping stones and instills in you a resilience that is critical in the pursuit of success. Moreover, definite purpose serves as an internal compass, keeping you aligned with your long-term vision, even when external circumstances shift unpredictably. In a world where financial markets fluctuate and fortunes rise and fall, your steadfast purpose remains the one constant. It is the foundation upon which you build your success, a source of energy that fuels your endeavors even in moments of doubt or adversity. With a clear purpose, you harness the power of your inner force and direct it with precision, ensuring that your efforts are both efficient and effective. In practical terms, crafting a definite purpose involves setting measurable and realistic objectives. Break your overarching vision into smaller, manageable milestones that serve as checkpoints along your journey. Each milestone reinforces your commitment and provides tangible evidence of progress, further boosting your confidence. As you achieve these incremental successes, the momentum builds and your purpose becomes not just an ideal, but a lived reality. The journey to financial success is not a matter of serendipity. It is the result of deliberate, informed action. A definite purpose acts as the catalyst that converts the raw energy of your inner force into directed, purposeful action. It is the keystone that connects every aspect of your life, from your mental attitude and emotional resilience to your practical strategies and daily habits. When all these elements are harmonized by a clear, focused purpose, the law of attraction, and the dynamics of reciprocal action align to create a powerful current that propels you toward your ultimate goals. Thus, in the quest for wealth and success, the power of definite purpose cannot be underestimated. It is the guiding light that transforms scattered ambitions into a coherent strategy, the constant that remains when the world around you is in flux, and the force that ensures every effort, every thought, and every action contributes to the realization of your deepest aspirations. When you are ready, we shall delve further into the next chapter, exploring how determination and the unwavering will to act build upon this purpose to further unlock the doors of financial prosperity. Chapter 5. The Unyielding Power of Will. In the grand design of financial success, will is the engine that transforms purpose into tangible achievement. While a clear objective sets the direction, it is the unwavering power of will that propels you forward even when the terrain becomes treacherous. Will is not a mere whim or fleeting desire. It is a determined resolve, a steadfast commitment to act in accordance with your highest aspirations, regardless of the obstacles that may arise. Imagine the relentless force of a river carving its way through solid rock. It is not the river's volume alone that shapes the landscape, but its persistent drive and determination to find a way. Similarly, the force of your will works quietly yet persistently, overcoming barriers and reorienting setbacks into opportunities for growth. This inner strength is not born of momentary passion. It is nurtured through continual, deliberate practice. Every decision you make, every action you take, must be a testament to your determination to succeed. The modern world is replete with distractions that can weaken your resolve. In an era where immediate gratification is just a click away, the art of steadfast determination is a rare and powerful quality. The power of will is about resisting the lure of temporary comforts in favor of long-term goals. It requires a disciplined mind that can silence the doubts and fears that inevitably arise along the journey to success. When you cultivate a strong will, you create a mental fortress, one where negative thoughts are kept at bay, and only constructive, forward-driving ideas are allowed passage. To harness this power, it is essential to acknowledge that the process of building will is itself a journey marked by both small victories and inevitable setbacks. Each setback, rather than a cause for despair, should be regarded as a critical lesson in fortifying your resolve. Every failure, when met with an unyielding will, becomes a stepping stone toward a more refined approach. This transformation of adversity into advantage is the hallmark of those who truly understand the art of willful determination. It is through will that you marshal the forces of your mind and spirit. Your thoughts, when aligned with a determined heart, gain the clarity and focus needed to break through the inertia of everyday challenges. In this crucible of effort, you learn to trust in your own capacity to overcome obstacles. Confidence is born out of repeated successes, no matter how modest, and with each triumph, your will grows stronger, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of achievement. Remember, the true measure of will is not in how you start, but in how you persist when circumstances test your resolve. Practical application of will requires setting up systems and habits that support your determination. Begin by outlining specific, measurable goals that are rooted in your larger vision. Each daily action, each disciplined routine, contributes to the building blocks of your future success. Do not allow yourself the luxury of complacency. Remain vigilant and proactive in the pursuit of your objectives. The power of will demands that you take full responsibility for your progress. It is not enough to dream of success. You must be willing to work relentlessly toward it. The synergy between will and action is undeniable. Every bold step you take is an expression of your inner commitment, a manifestation of the unyielding power of will. With every deliberate action, you are not merely moving closer to your financial goals, you are reshaping your entire approach to life. This transformation is subtle at first, emerging as a quiet confidence that eventually radiates outwards, influencing every aspect of your interactions and decisions. In conclusion, the unyielding power of will is the crucible in which all financial achievements are forged. It is the resolute drive that keeps you moving forward when external conditions seem hostile. Cultivate this inner strength with persistence and patience, and let it serve as your constant companion on the path to prosperity. Embrace every challenge as an opportunity to test and strengthen your resolve, for it is through this unbreakable determination that true financial success is ultimately realized. When you are ready, we shall move forward to explore the next essential principle, where the melding of belief in oneself with unwavering confidence creates an unshakable foundation for further prosperity. Chapter 6. Confidence and belief in one's own abilities. In the journey toward financial triumph, confidence and belief in one's own abilities are not mere byproducts of success. They are the very foundation upon which success is built. When you truly believe in yourself, you do not wait for fortune to knock at your door. Instead, you become its master, attracting the opportunities and resources necessary for prosperity. Confidence is that inner light which dispels the shadows of doubt and fear, allowing you to stride boldly in the direction of your dreams. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast canyon with the opposite bank, rich in promise, yet separated by an intimidating chasm. Without self-assurance, the leap seems impossible. Yet when your inner resolve is fortified by confidence, you perceive the canyon not as an insurmountable void, but as a challenge waiting to be overcome. Belief in your own abilities transforms the abstract notion of success into something tangible, achievable through deliberate and focused effort. This chapter is a call to nurture and solidify that inner belief. Financial success, like any other form of achievement, demands that you trust in the strength of your ideas and the validity of your methods. Too often, individuals allow the critics within and the cynics without to undermine their self-worth. They let the echo of past failures dictate the limits of their future potential. To break free from this cycle, you must first recognize that the true barrier to success is not the external world, but the internal voice of doubt. When you silence that voice, you create space for confident creative thought, a fertile ground where success can take root. Confidence is not something that appears overnight. It is cultivated through experience, through the repeated affirmation of your skills, and through the continuous practice of stepping outside your comfort zone. Each small victory,